it happened. I shaved my head, the Sanjay Mortimer Foundation, and a huge thank you to Printed Solid for getting us out here so that we could do something as crazy as this and raise over $6,000 for charity. And I am joined by one of the master barbers himself, Jacob. But Jacob is not just a master barber. He's actually the son of the mother and son team behind Construct 3D, one of the only companies in recent history to actually use Kickstarter for what it's designed for. Jacob, talk to us about Construct 3D, what you guys are all about, and what you're doing here.
Okay, so the entire concept behind Construct 3D is a company built out of spite.
Yeah.
Because we hate 3D printers.
Okay.
It's the worst thing to say at the start, but it's true. I kept buying printers. I kept getting more. I kept making things for my friends and myself. And the problem was I'd buy one to make a project. It didn't work. I'd buy another for the same project. It didn't work. And it kept like scaling that way.
Okay.
So I said, at the end of it, I had 12 machines. Screw it. I'll make my own. And from that, Construct 3D started by myself in my bedroom. A couple of years passed of R&D. And then my mum saw what I made and she said, Jacob, you're an absolute idiot. That is an amazing product you've done. Make that into a company. 3 more years in R&D, going from a bedroom workshop of just playing around to an actual product, the whole development cycle, everything. And now we're here.
And these were your first 2 printers right here.
These are them.
So what is this one?
So this is the Construct 1. This is like your desktop size machine. Right. And that's the Construct 1 XL, which is for your XL size stuff.
Nice and simple, keeps it easy. The naming scheme is pretty easy to follow. And I like that you guys went with like the nice wood side panels, you know? Reminds me of the good old days when people gave a damn about building something, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to say that no expense was spared. And, you know, it's not the cheapest printer on the market. Why? Because it actually is built well, okay? You can just look at this thing. This baby's not doing anything wrong. These printers are absolutely awesome. And I love that this is literally you and your mom that have started a 3D printing company that is delivering units. Like you guys are fully done in the UK.
All the UK, all EU, complete, except one person. If you're watching this, get in contact with us. We're trying to contact you. I just don't think the emails are working. Please, I want you to get your printer.
And then what about on the US? Where are we at with that?
So we've got a handful of people waiting, which is just compliance related. We got some really bad advice at the start on Kickstarter saying because it's a Kickstarter, they're prototypes and prototypes don't need an amount of compliance that you're expecting. Just do it. So we open it up for the US as well. They lied. You need compliance. Like everyone else probably has been like skimping it.
Yeah.
We refuse to. We want to do everything right first time. And that includes making sure the machine is safe. And that's important because that's like part of our ethos is making sure we did it correctly first time, every time.
Yeah. If you don't do it right the first time, especially when you're a smaller company that's just starting out in the beginning, you will make a lot of mistakes. And as a smaller company, you can't get away with that if you don't have a massive marketing budget. And unless you wanted to sell your mom's house, live out of the car, and somehow figure that out, you couldn't afford to make the mistakes that these bigger companies can and get away with it. You guys followed everything the way you needed to.
Yeah.
And that is such a big deal. And there's a lot of respect to be given there.
It's painful because you see all of these other companies and they quickly come to market, they produce their products and then they leave.
Yep.
And we're just sat there paying bill after bill for a month of a factory usage that isn't making anything.
Yep.
Because we're doing compliance. It does hurt.
Yeah.
But for us, we know it's correct because if we sell a printer and say it, at worst, it kills someone. Like they dropped it, it ended badly, it went wrong. That's really bad. We want to make sure that never happens.
Right.
So we will do it safely every time.
Jacob, this is amazing. Guys, check out Construct 3D. Links in that description down below. I am really excited because you also have a new machine.
Yeah.
You do. Talk to us about this new machine here.
Okay.
Because it's a multi-color, multi-material.
It is not a product.
No.
That is the start.
Okay.
It is a research prototype.
So smart.
In the spirit of WebWrap, unlike a trade show where you bring your printers and be like, buy my stuff.
Yeah.
WebWrap is about celebrating 3D printing in general.
Right.
So what is the best thing that we can bring that isn't just, I made a product?
Right.
It's the hidden behind the scenes factory that nobody gets to see because it's not interesting to business. But to me, it's the bread and butter of what I do every day. So it's the research, it's the little things we print, and it's the machine that never sees the light of day. That to me is the cool bit.
I like that too. Because as a lot of you know, when it comes to prototyping, it's never often the first one that is perfect. And you need a research machine to make the real machines, to make the research machine. It's a chicken and egg problem. I could do this all day. Jacob, what you and your mom are doing is inspiring to myself and likely a lot of makers out there. And I got to have you on a podcast.
Oh, 100%.
You and your mom to talk about your story. So if you guys want to see that, let us know in those comments below. But continuing coverage of the Sanjay Mortimer Rep Rap Festival, day 2, now with a lot less hair. Coming at you right after this. We are here with 3D Print Bunny, aka Natalie, who is known for being the torturous of the 3D printing community. You make models that get to the limits of what printers can do for bridging and so much more. The way you think outside of the box blows my mind. Talk about what you do and how you do it.
Oh, I print strings. It's not as hard as it looks though. It's really not. I create models and then use single extrusions to create string effects.
Yeah. For those that can't see this really well, there are bracing and ribbing between the wings of the biplane and its bridges from your printer. It is as cool as you think. You do more than just strings. You're adding art inside of it. We can see the butterfly model. Probably, can I pick this one up?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm always afraid of breaking models. One of my favorites. Now, I will say that I've never attempted this.
Oh, you so should.
I am so afraid it's going to fail.
It's not as hard as it looks. Everybody should try it. I printed one on my Ender 3.
Yeah.
And it prints fine. Yeah, you got to do it.
I really do. This is so freaking cool. And that every one of the raindrops, if you will, is just a single extrusion with string. It's absolutely amazing. Now, Natalie, how do you come up with these amazing designs?
I think I just live 3D printing. Like everything, I walk around and I'm constantly thinking, could I do that? Is there a way I could print that? Is there a way I could, sort of change that into a 3D printed model?
Right, right.
But with the strings, like the butterflies, I saw a sculpture that was this massive stone ball that was suspended in a large square. And I thought, is there a way I can suspend a ball?
Right, right.
And that's where it started. I thought, if I do lots of strings, if I do enough, will that hold the ball in place? And it did. And people seem to like it. So I get a bit faddy. So once I've started doing one thing, I just keep more and more and more and more. So.
It snowballs over and over and over again. That's super cool. Well, Natalie, where can people find your models? If they wanted to download them, where could they find them?
I'm on Thangs.
Okay.
I'm on Printables. Most of my models are free. Very, very few that you have to pay for. I like the idea of people being able to just print them. So
it's awesome. And thank you for supporting this community in such a way. Your models, I think they're torture tests, but, and they're actually great if you are trying to dial in your stringing and retraction and your bridging, because you're testing all of these things all at once. And at the end of it, you're not left with some weird test print. You're left with a cool piece of art.
It's true. I think it is quite good for testing your printers.
So Natalie, I gotta ask, this might be a tough question. What is your favorite print?
At the moment, it changes all the time.
That's fair. At the moment, today.
But at the moment today, I really love the designs where you're using the supports to create it. So this is probably my favorite print at the moment because the model is just the little baubles and
we're using the
supports. So what make the tree?
Using the tree supports, organic supports.
It's not really my design. It's kind of, it's the slicer's design. The slicer has made the tree for me.
Now, did you design it so the slicer would do it this way?
Yeah. Show you here. If you have a base, then that forces the supports to only come up
it in a certain
from
area.
a certain area. So you do it there. You have a circle around there, and that forces you to get the tree shape. But that's what you have
so
to do.
smart. Natalie, thank you so much. This is awesome. Guys, check out 3D Print Bunny. Links are in that description down below. Support her on all the platforms possible. But I know you're popular on Thangs right now.
Yeah.
Do you have like a Thangs membership where people can support you?
I have a Thangs membership. I have a Printables club, and I'm on Patreon as well. So
Awesome.
you can do whatever is easiest for you.
Guys, support 3D Print Bunny there. Continuing coverage of the Sanjay Mortimer Rep Festival Day 2 coming at you right after this. We are here with the great Allie Katz, one of my favorite creators who is way, way too small for the amazing work that they do. Your
Grant,
work
thank you.
is so freaking cool.
Well, we go way back.
We
you
do
and
go
I.
way back.
You supported me from the very beginning.
It's
in
true.
Fact.
It's true.
So I know that you mean it when you say it.
Your work inspires makers all over the world to just say, you know, this is cool, but what if we just sprinkled some extra magic onto it?
But what if?
Yeah, but what if?
love the what if. The what if is where I live. But what if this thing?
Yeah.
But what if we did it differently? But what if we did it better? That's kind of, I think, that's me. That's Katz Creates. That's where I'm at. And this is my table. This is my menagerie.
I like it. I like it. You've got some awesome stuff here, including some molds
Yeah.
for ceramics that you're working on.
Yeah. So like this is fun because basically people keep coming up to me and asking if these pieces are 3D printed, if the ceramics are 3D printed, because
Right.
you can 3D print ceramics.
You can.
That's a thing
Yep.
that exists. And they're not. These are handmade ceramics, but they're handmade with the aid of 3D printing. 3D printing is what made these possible.
Yeah.
This is a technique that I have spent the last 9 months to a year developing
Wow.
with the help actually of a grant from the UK government,
Nice.
which is just super cool. Thank you. Thank you, Arts Council England. You've been awesome. But this technique is basically skipping steps in a process that is old as dirt, old as time.
Quite literally.
Old, yes.
Yeah.
Using dirt, fancy mud as I like to call it. And so people have also assumed that these are slip casts. Now, I'm familiar with slip casting. These are slip casts. This is my knee.
You just needed to show it to me.
I needed. Slip casting is great. It's got a very solid purpose and sometimes unavoidable. But
Right.
slip casting is messy and it's complicated and it takes forever. So I wanted to see, could 3D design, could digital fabrication, 3D printing make this easier? Could it make it more accessible?
And quite literally, you found out the answer is not only yes, but a resounding yes.
Absolutely resounding yes. And I'm so excited that I've been able to document this process, to make a video and share basically anyone with a little bit of CAD experience
Right.
and a desire to make actual things out of clay can do this. This is not an insanely hard process. And these are just two examples. Like these
Right.
are very much just two examples of what you can do with it. The sky's the limit for sure. And like these aren't hard prints either. These are super easy 3D prints. They're a little bit of time, sure, because they're big,
But who cares?
but who cares?
Yeah.
They're super easy. This isn't a difficult process.
What's the height on this?
This one, I'm trying to remember. I want to say about 200 millimeters.
So like most 3D printers can do it.
Absolutely. And again, the design is up to you. You can make things that are smaller. You can make things that are bigger. And it doesn't require a well-tuned printer even. Like
Right.
the prints can be a little bit messy because you get to smooth out the layer lines afterwards. You just take a sponge. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like you can't even tell. The fact that you have like this beautiful finished piece in real porcelain, real clay.
I can't tell.
It's great. I love it. It's, again, the process is just, now that it's where it is, because certainly there was periods of time where I was like, this is maybe not working as well as I'd like. Now that it's there, it feels like magic. It feels amazing. I'm so happy that I was able to kind of come up with this and share it with everyone, because that's it. I just want to inspire people. I want people to feel empowered, to be creative, and to make stuff. Because so many people are told at some point in their life, they're just not an artistic person. They're not a creative person. And that sort of language, it seeps in and it hits in deep.
It does.
And so I guess in my own small way, I'm trying to undo some of that damage.
Right.
The looks on people's faces when they get to be creative, when they realize that they can make something, it's everything. It's worth everything. So that's kind of what my mission has become. This just sort of let people know that they can make stuff, inspire people to make stuff, but also again, that what if, that what can be done.
Right.
So like, that's why this table looks so weird and all over the place. Like we have BMO with the Raspberry Pi, running a Raspberry Pi and Octoprint over here.
I love BMO. He's
BMO
great.
is the best.
Yeah.
BMO is the best. And then again, we've got, slip cast knees over here. We have a fully 3D printed life-size prop Terraco, but then also a Pokeball with 535 LEDs in it.
I mean, LEDs make everything better.
Yes, no, I do agree with that 100%. So I don't like being restricted by a material,
Right.
by a process,
Right.
by anything really. So my channel will continue to be and will always be just a wild mix of stuff as I take this journey, and hope people will take it with me and feel a little bit more able to do their own stuff.
Absolutely.
This is me in a nutshell.
And if you do want to follow along what Allie does, check out Katz Creates. We'll link to it in the description down below. This is so freaking cool.
I'm so glad you were able to come by, Grant. Like, I'm really glad I got to show
How
this
could
off.
I not? We've never met before, okay?
I know. This is the wildness of like the pandemic and the internet. It's like we're only just now meeting, even though we've known each other for years.
Yep.
So super weird. Now we're in the same space at the same time. So I'm super happy. Thank you so much for coming by and checking out my table and my stuff.
Absolutely. It's awesome, guys. Again, check out Katz Creates. Links in the description down below. Let us know, do you have a desire to get into ceramics and now are all of a sudden going to be doing it? And you're going to blame Allie here?
Yes, please do. Blame me.
It's a good reason to be blamed. And I think Amber's going to now be searching for kilns on Facebook Marketplace. Anyways, guys, continuing coverage of the Sanjay Mortimer Rep Fest 2023 coming at you, sponsored by Printed Solid. On to the next one. Quick ad break to thank today's sponsor, Printed Solid. They've actually sponsored our entire trip out here to the Sanjay Mortimer Rep Fest 2023. Thank you to Printed Solid for making this trip possible and allowing us to raise a ton of money for the Sanjay Mortimer Foundation, where, if you couldn't tell, I have a little bit less hair now. And while we could have done it anywhere in the world, it made sense to do it right here. If you guys are looking for some of the best filament out there, especially filament that is made in America, in Newark, Delaware, look no further than Printed Solid. With some amazing colors like Brad's orange, you can get pretty much any color that you need for your projects and at an incredibly affordable price. Heck, we've been using Jesse filament for years on the channel, well before we were probably even on Printed Solid's radar. I love their filament, especially the design white, because they figured out the way to make white filament not suck. And, well, that's kind of harder than you think it actually is. Anyways, check out Printed Solid. Links are in that description down below. Now let's get back to talking with some awesome vendors. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, Grant. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, dude. It has been quite a few years that I've been a fan of Wekster here. And if you don't know who Wekster is, link to him in the description down below. His work is absolutely amazing.
Aww.
And finally, we get a chance to actually meet in person.
Yeah, finally.
But for those that don't know who
Okay.
you are, for some odd reason, tell them who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Wekster, and I create these kind of things.
Beautiful models.
I can't say a lot. I'm just a guy from Croatia who enjoys doing this kind of stuff, and I'm doing it every day. And I like that I have people who actually appreciate that and push me forward.
Your work is, it gets me so close to saying, I'm going to pick up ZBrush. And then I remember that I suck at drawing.
Practice.
I know.
And
I know.
It doesn't take a lot of time. You will notice. You will get better and better, and then soon you're gonna have a table next to me, or we're gonna do it together.
That would be fun.
Sounds like a good plan.
Because it would be like I'm the protege and I'm looking at the master saying, I will never be this good.
Master, no.
I've watched Wekster sculpt. He's got a Discord and just kind of been hanging out in the voice chat. He's in there sculpting and it starts out as a blob. And in 20, 30 minutes,
It gets
beautiful.
weird. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the thing. When you practice, you start getting faster and faster with this kind of stuff. And I really like doing that. It's a quick practice, and then you just delete it and move on. Sometimes when you like something, you just keep it and you push it forward, and you just release it to your followers.
It's true. It's true. Now, what is your favorite piece you've ever sculpted?
I'm actually not sure. It's one of the mini dudes. I actually don't have it here because that's how everything started. But I really like this thing.
Yeah.
I actually sculpted this for my wife. I mean, I didn't paint this one. This was painted by my friend Grumpy Dude, and I like skulls. This is also something that he created.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, I was super happy to. Since I came from Croatia, I didn't bring any of my prints or anything, so I just asked people who are closer or who are coming with the car to bring some stuff. So yesterday I've seen all of these things for the first time. Like I've seen images of some of this stuff, but seeing this in person, it's so much better. So I was like a child yesterday in a toy store.
I'm particularly fond of some of the dragons that you've been doing recently, and Grumpy does such a good job of painting these up too.
Yeah, this one is like paint job is awesome.
But yes, the mini dudes will always hold a bit of a soft spot in my heart.
A lot of people like them. Like when you're sculpting stuff, sometimes you want to go with something different. Like at one point, I tried to do something articulated just for fun because I had an idea. And I like sculpting different things like busts. But it turns out that people still like and they demand the most. Like they want mini dudes.
They're
so
easy to print.
I need to always come back to them.
Well, they're easy to print. You make them so that they are support free.
Not always. When I can.
For the most part. Yeah, for the most part. Sometimes you gotta put a little support in the crotch area.
Oh, I just remember.
Is that the one?
No. Okay. That's not the one. But one of my friends, Bob, he printed this model in multi-material, and he basically sent it into space.
Sent it to the edge of space in a balloon.
And when he came back,
it was
first
taller,
we didn't notice, but then he compared both of them, and one was taller than the other one.
We have no idea how or why it occurred, but it was taller.
I guess it's temperature changes and who knows what. I'm not an expert.
Neither am I. Wekster, it's a really cool one to meet you in person, meet all the crew from your Discord, if you will, but at the same time to see your models and be able to, see the man behind it, the man, the myth, the legend, Wekster.
The legend, oh no.
Where can people find you?
Well, they can find me on Patreon, patreon.com/Wekster, or on Printables. I have a lot of free models there, and also I have a club member option where people can support me and get something. I release it there before anywhere else. And I have a Twitter account, Instagram. I'm everywhere. Just type Wekster and you will find me.
You absolutely will, guys. We'll link to those in the description down below. Check out
Except
Wekster.
if there's an XXX connected to my name, stay away from that.
I mean, we'll link to the OnlyFans.
No, those are my old things.
None of those?
I don't like that. OneWex.com actually exists. And I think it goes to my Patreon page as well.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
I didn't make that.
Of course you didn't. No, you would never do that.
Have you seen this?
We'll take a look at Chucky.
Okay.
Yeah, Chucky's... There's a life-size Chucky model here. I don't know if it's in frame, but we'll show you guys what Chucky looks like. Chucky is an absolutely amazing model that was put together by 3D Monkey. He's not here right now, but we have Chucky's controller. So we're going to show you guys Chucky here. But Wekster, thank you so much for coming out and showing this off, guys. Links to Wekster in that description down below. We'll have lots of continuing coverage coming up. But until then, a huge thank you goes out to Printed Solid for sponsoring our trip to come out here. All of our channel member supporters whose names listed right next to me at the $5 tier and higher. And of course, to all of you watching at home, like and subscribe if you haven't, but stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And as always, keep making awesome. With awesome people.
Thank you for bringing this guy closer to me.
See ya.
Video bye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not introducing him as Jacob. I'm introducing him as the master barber.
Outtakes. I got my own disco ball. I travel with my own disco ball.
Or